G'day YouTube people, it seems not a month can go by without someone writing an angry letter to the Subiaco Post to complain about the Eric Street shared path. Well, let's dip into the archives and see what came out in May. And here we've got a local complaining that the redevelopment of the OBH Hotel is imminent. That's going to make the shared path useless. It's obviously going to result in council wasting some money. And the staff or the consultants who did all this were incompetent and, the council should be asking for their money back. Well, what do we think of that? Well, how imminent is the OBH redevelopment? It was first mooted back in 2014, and it's been rumbling along ever since, along with a lot of other developments along the beachfront. So, this article from March 2022 in the Urban Developer does mention it, and as it says, the latest proposal is just one of many proposals over the years, and this is just the latest one. So who knows if it's actually going to get up or not. It may not be imminent at all. So the next thing is the car park is going to be turned into a building site. Well, you can see there's 3 car parks here, one on the right, which is publicly owned, one on the left, which is part of the pub, and one further down the bottom, which is also a publicly owned car park. Now, I assume what I'm writing through right now is going to be flattened, dug up, and turned into an underground car park because this is part of the developer's block. They own this. They can do what they like with it once they've got it approved. So yes, this will be a dirty, great big hole in the ground, stretching up to their boundary. But just because this is getting demolished doesn't mean the public car parks outside the property boundary are going to be affected either. So, there's a huge assumption that the path is going to be ripped up, damaged, or blocked by this development. Now, they might be right. They may need to take this over for, truck deliveries and all that kind of thing, which would be, completely normal for a development of this size. Anyway, but how people... they also say that one of the proposals had 227 bicycle parking bays. So where's all that bike traffic going to go without a shared path going right up and down the street? And it also, the developer's website mentioned there's going to be ample on-street bike parking. And the planning report also says that they're going to provide 204 bike parking spaces within the residential stores as well as visitor bike parking. So they're expecting to have a lot of bicycle movements in and out of this site once it's completed. So obviously they're going to need the shared path. And even the acceptable outcomes here mentions how many bike spaces are going to end up. I think it's all a bit fudged, but they're expecting a lot of bike parking. Anyway, how imminent is it? Well, the WA planning site has not been updated since August last year. They've still got this application status as being under assessment. It's still got to go to a WAPC meeting. The determination's got to be made. It's probably got to go back to council. Obviously this has been going on for nearly a year. So why are they suddenly saying it's imminent? I mean, do they have information that we don't have? But look, even if they do have to block off the path for the construction work, they can easily create a safe, easy-to-use detour around the work site, as a temporary measure. We've seen that happen. So, yeah, I mean, sorry about that, wasting 4 minutes of your time responding to that rather, kind of angry letter. But you can see, just how many holes you can punch in it straight away that, I don't think this was... an incompetent move by the staff or the consultants at all. That even if they ripped up that bit of green path there, it's just paint essentially. So it's not a high cost thing they're going to be pulling up. And look, even if the developer does close the public car park and rip it all up, well, they're ripping up the entire car park along with probably the lighting, the drainage, maybe the electrical supply, gas, water, sewage, drainage, rubbish bins, street signs, curbs, footpaths, the whole lot. And you know what they'll have to do? They'll have to make good at their expense. That'll be part of the approval for the development thing. So if they, destroy the freshly built shared path, well, they're going to have to rebuild it at their cost. So council's not going to be out of pocket at all. And in fact, that green strip there may in fact get rebuilt as a much higher quality bit of shared path infrastructure. So yeah, it just shows the mentality of some people. They will complain about absolutely everything to try and tear these things down. And I don't know how we overcome this mentality, but it's just an interesting mentality that, they can't see the benefit or the usefulness in this stuff, and they just want to keep on attacking. Anyway, that'll do. See ya.